Hello, today I'm introducing a new feature to CalChart, which is curves. So you'll note this is CalChart with the traditional controls of being able to select points and move them that we're all familiar with. There's a new icon in the toolbar over here, and that specifically is the Edit Curves, Draw and Edit Curves. When I toggle that on, I'm in now a different mode. Instead of being able to select marchers, I will now be able to draw curves. Curves are defined by a set of points that give the curve its shape. Once I've drawn the curve I'd like, I can double click it, and now this sheet has a curve in it. I can grab the curve and move it to wherever I want to. I can select control points, and I can manipulate the curve. I can double click to insert a new control point to give the curve the shape I want. I can even take points and delete them with the delete key. And if I don't like the curve, I can just delete it. Each curve has a different number associated with it. So this would be curve 1, or curve 0. And then I can make another curve by going, that would be curve 1. Sometimes when drawing a curve, you may end up drawing your curve and not liking where it's going and want to start all over again. And you're like, it may feel like you're stuck in the drawing mode. By simply pressing the escape key, it will abort the drawing. So if I did this and I'm like, oh, you know what, I just want to start over again, I would just press the escape key and the curve is aborted. When I have curves, I can take marchers and assign them to curves. Let's take this marcher and assign it to that curve. You'll note that when I bring the marcher close to the curve, they will snap onto the curve. Curves don't allow you a specific place where you can assign the marcher. Curves assign the marchers their position. Every marcher is set evenly on the curve so that they will be an even distance away from each other. Once marchers are assigned to a curve, if I were to edit the curve shape, the marchers will move along with them. They're essentially assigned to that curve and in that order of the curve. If I were to take a marcher and move the marcher themselves, they will become unassigned to that curve, and all the other marchers will balance themselves out. For instance, note here when I take 116 and drop it down there, everyone else balanced out. But if I remove marcher 93, all the other marchers balance out. For instance, let's look at this script California. Now that is very challenging to make. However, by using curves, we can lay out exactly the shape we would like and assign the marchers to the curve. So this process involves essentially making the curve, then assigning marchers to it. I will note, however, it is quite challenging sometimes to get your marcher in exactly the right spot. So let us assume that we want to make sure marcher 78 is after marcher 99. 178 is after marcher 99 here. There exists a new option, which is the Edit Curve Assignment. So we can see here is where all of the marchers are listed in the order they appear. And we'll note, I really do want marcher 78 to be below. So I will just move that marcher down and make the edit, and we'll note that their positions in the curve swapped. Let's show a little example of a quick edit I could do to help construct this script cal. What I'm going to do is I have this part of the arc of the A. I'm going to make it a curve, and I'm going to assign these marchers to that curve. First of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and enter into the curve draw mode. I'm going to start outlining the curve of that part of the A. And I can see here it's almost right, but what I want to do is I want to shape it just a bit more, give it a contour just so it looks okay. There, I think that's a little better. That's the shape I want. Okay, now that I've got that, I will go into the curve assignment editor, and I'm going to grab all of those marked dots. Now I'll note, actually, they're not quite in the right order, so let me do a little bit, a little sorting of this. This is maybe a bit tedious, but it is much simpler than doing it out by hand and trying to make sure everyone is in the right spot. So let's go ahead and essentially eyeball, figure out the right order that people are supposed to be in. It helps that I have a reference of it already laid out. There we go. Now when I say OK, everyone should now be put into the right positions. And there. So that is how you would create curves and assign marchers to curves.